I've had a few aborted attempts, but I just can't leave well enough alone. No, I can get a good playthrough. So we're gonna make this work here. Here comes Mega Man X Legacy Collection PS4. Going with the original Mega Man X from 1993, Rock Band X edition. First Mega Man game for the Super Nintendo, first 16-bit game. Actually predates Mega Man 7 from the original series. Done this intro a few times, but I'd get rid of it, so I don't mind if I'm repeating myself. It's 1993. We're in the wake of what's known as the Dark Age in comics, and really sort of extends to everything, all forms of arts and entertainment. When you got people who came up as Generation X, sort of coming into their own creatively. Todd McFarlane being one of the first big superstar artists in Marvel, and of course leading the charge into the exodus from Marvel, going over to form Image Comics. So then you've got Spawn, you've got in DC Batman getting his back broken by Bane and being replaced by a darker, edgier Batman. Superman is killed by Doomsday. Venom over in Marvel has his own ongoing series as like a Punisher type anti-hero, dark anti-heroes and violence and over-the-top stuff is all over the place. And in video games, of course, we've got Mortal Kombat blowing everybody's minds with its crazy level of violence. And, you know, to extend even further, you know, the music dominating the charts at the time is grunge music, which, of course, is tinged with its own sort of nihilism and darkness. So even Mega Man is not immune to this, even though he was basically a cutesy character. He's given sort of a Dark Age reboot for the X series. So we've got the intro here talking about how this is not the same Mega Man as Mega Man in the core series. This is the new Mega Man X model, which Light decided to store away in a capsule to be opened later in the future. It says T right there, it's supposed to be Thomas Light. It says Wright. Sometimes in Japanese translations they get the L and the R mixed up. Don't know why I picked Rock Band as opposed to Mega Man. So this still has lots of English text, but as far as the dialogue goes, it will be in Japanese. But I know it all by heart anyway. So there we go. Opening stage, CD Streets. Getting to show off the first 16-bit Mega Man game. You can already see, when comparing it to, of course, Mega Man 1 through 6 on the NES, the huge graphical leap. And of course, X would bring in its own sort of innovations to the playing style here. Look, we have enemies here that can affect the environment, which is pretty cool, a new wrinkle. They can break all the way through if you let them. And even though the music is very distinctly Mega Man, it does have a sort of different sort of style. Mega Man 7 will come out a little later on this Super Nintendo and, you know, continue that series with the similar artistic aesthetic. But X would always be sort of darker and edgier, and X is just like such an edgy letter for some reason. Generation X, the X-Men, X-rated, so forth. So watch this enemy. When you take him down, part of his body remains, which is also, I think, new. And here's something that Mega Man couldn't do in previous games. He can climb off walls, which is not just useful, but actually a requirement if you're going to get through these games. There's parts where there's no other option. And plus, it will save you a lot if you miss the jump. Save you from getting killed. So I've practiced this a lot over the last few days, including a few aborted runs, so I'm hoping I'm sharp enough. Because the point of this playthrough is, you know, it's never going to be the best playthrough on YouTube. There's always going to be like crazy speed runs and people pulling off amazing things. I can't claim that, but I can put together a really solid run, I think. Limit getting killed, I mean, mistakes. And also, well, I'll talk about the boss battles when we get to them. These guys are kind of cool. You can shoot the driver off, or if you shoot it enough, stop it entirely, and then blow it up. Coming to the end of our intro stage. New stuff in the foreground. So we're going to see something kind of cool, because this will show up in a later boss stage, which is airship that's going to come down. That's actually what's dropping these enemies. Here we go. This is actually the airship that we'll see again. It's at the end of Storm Eagle stage and where you fight him. Anyway, this will just drop them forever if you don't keep moving, so I want to keep moving to the right, otherwise this will just go on, so good. Now we get the introduction of our new character, Vile. This crazy armored carrier, and you'll notice right away if this is the first time you're seeing this or doing this, is that this is a fight you cannot win. He doesn't even have like a health or power meter, and you can't avoid his attacks. Once he gets to the edge of the screen, there's nowhere to go. So, I mean, I can prolong this and shoot him and fight a bit, but, you know, there's no winning. And you're not supposed to die here, but it is possible to die, which is why I'm not going to screw around. So here, I'm just going to stay still and let him get me, because sometimes just to see how long I can prolong it, I've jumped around and hopped and dodged, but that's playing with fire, because then he could hit you and you'll die. So where he says, "You worthless piece of scrap, how did you think you could ever defeat me?" But we're going to get saved by another new character, Zero. Once again, very much a Dark Age character, such a badass, with his long hair. Although he doesn't have his sword yet. A little later in the series they give him the sword. Still, X is like, "I guess I'm not powerful enough to defeat him." He says, "X, don't sweat it. You shouldn't expect to defeat him. He's designed to be a war machine. Plus, you don't have all of your upgrades yet. Maybe by the time you get all those, you'll be a lot stronger, maybe even as strong as me." He's a little condescending there. Then he might be saying something here about going after Sigma, who used to be the head of the Maverick Hunters. Give a little background if you missed the beginning, with like all these robots that X was the template for. These new kinds of robots were known as Reploids, although I don't think they used that term in the original Mega Man X. They use it later going forward, but some of them have gone crazy or evil, and they're called Mavericks. So you've got X and Zero working as Maverick Hunters. A little backstory that's not shown in this game is that, or it might be in the booklet or something, is that previously Sigma, who's the leader of the Mavericks, was the leader of the Maverick Hunters, and then he went Maverick. And he's the end boss here, and the main antagonist throughout the long-running X series. Okay, so here we have our familiar boss screen. But another difference between the X series and the normal series, core series, is, you know, it's this man, that man, is instead of man, you've got animals. There we go, you can see each guy's stage, or you can switch it over to map and see where they are in relation to each other on the map. You can go to specs, and it will give you their height and weight and some of their special attacks. So this is the Japanese version of Rockman, so you can see they got the Japanese names. And we will start with Icy Penguigo, or as he's known in the English translation, Chill Penguin. A good rule of thumb in the Mega Man X series and the Mega Man series as a whole, it doesn't apply to every game, but a lot of games, is when in doubt, start with the ice guy. And it's certainly how you want to start here in Mega Man X. You want to start with Chill Penguin. There we go. So every stage, in addition to having a boss, every stage has a heart tank. Because you might notice, you might think, oh, you know, my health is a little low there, I'm taking hits I shouldn't take while I'm trying to explain this. And you can actually extend it by getting a heart tank. Each of the 8 stages has a heart tank. Oh, did that wrong too. I hate how these woodsmen laugh at you when you get hit. It's really annoying. There's another character, enemy later in the game, or in another stage that laughs when you get hit too. Hate them too. But anyway, there's also 4 sub-tanks. You might remember the E tanks that will, you know, fill up your power entirely from the core series. And this, ooh, nice drop, are the sub-tanks. There's 4 of them, so they're not in every stage. This stage does not have one. But the difference there is you actually have to fill them up yourself, and you fill them up by, you know, picking up just like that. Once you have full power, picking up extra energy. And of course, there are 4 pieces of your upgrades, or sometimes called the X suit, or whatever however you want to refer to it. There's a helmet, or there's a head unit, there's gloves, or arm unit, or X-Buster upgrade, or whatever. Chest piece, and feet, or boots, or whatever. So this is the first one. This is the feet, or the boots, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, in other stages, this is at least these capsules are at least a little bit hidden. This one, you know, there's no way you could possibly miss it. It's right on your path. In fact, you couldn't skip it if you wanted to. So here's Dr. Light sending his message from the past to you. Since this is the first capsule we get to, he gets a little speech first. He says, like, "So you've come." He's saying, when he sent you into the future, or not sent you to the future, but locked you away to be open in the future, you hoped that he was in the hope that you could have a peaceful life, but now it seems that no matter what Mega Man you are, you're always destined to fight. So with that in mind, here's some upgrades to help him out, and now he explains it, and here's the one for your feet or whatever, to increase your speed, So this will give you the dash ability plus the dash jump, which is a stronger, better jump, so you can jump higher and further. He'll do a little demonstration all on his own. I'm not controlling him when he does this to show off the dash, which on the Super Nintendo controller would be the A button, and on the PlayStation controller is the O button. But you can also achieve this by doing forward, which I use a lot, because you might have noticed already that my playing style is I'm always charging. Whenever I'm, not actually shooting, I'm charging. So it's pretty hard to dash while charging if you're trying to do it with this button, but if you do forward, that's how this is achieved. So a lot of my dashing is with the forward, although not always. So here I'm not doing it. Sometimes you just want to go fast. You get these mech suits in some of the stages. This would allow you to get up here, but we can't break this without the suit or some sort of weapon. That's where one of the heart tanks is. So that's another thing that's new about this series, is that you now have to have the ability to come back to stages after you've beaten the boss, which is necessary in some instances to get stuff that you couldn't get before. Alright, we're coming up to the home stretch here. Just want to take your time here and look ahead so that you're able to anticipate these big rolling boulders of snow. These guys are throwing snowballs at you. Just want to move carefully so that you don't get in a position like that. See? There we go. So that's good. So Chill Penguin, of course, is also so the main reason to start with Chill Penguin is to get the boots right away, and so you can dash because it's such an integral part of the game, and also because Chill Penguin is by far the easiest boss to beat, and he's certainly very easy to beat without even using a special weapon on him. Now, here's where this is going to be a little different. Just for the heck of it, to make things a little more interesting and to stand out, I'm not going to use the weapons on the bosses when I fight them the first time. I'm going to kill all of them the first time just using the X-Buster. And that gets a little harder as we go, but with Chill Penguin it's no problem at all. I don't even expect to get hit. If he hits me, I made a sloppy mistake. I got impatient or took a risk I shouldn't have taken. As you can see, his various attacks. So the main thing is when he jumps at you, you can knock him right out of the air. Oh, twice in a row, you bastard. He's actually invincible when he does that slide. You want to wait for him to come out of it. You can shoot through that first. He gets a little impatient with his guys. He breaks them himself, or you can break them. Oh, so when he pulls that, he can create like a snowstorm that knocks you around, but I didn't let him. So that's a flawless victory. We're not going to have... I can't guarantee those every time. I'm definitely going to take some hits, but Chill Penguin, yeah, he's pretty easy. So far, so good. So even though, yeah, this is the Japanese version, we're going to get English text here telling us about the shotgun ice, which is the weapon you get. Very nice. Little demonstration. And on we go. So logically, the next guy to go with is Storm Eagle. Even though, once again, we don't technically the weapon that works best on Storm Eagle comes from Sting Chameleon, but I don't care how you're choosing to do it. It just makes more sense to do Storm Eagle next. Plus, he's also a pretty easy boss fight. Although you do need the boots. You need the dash ability to beat him, probably. I've had fights with him where he hasn't used his main weapon, which is the Storm Tornado. And the Storm Tornado doesn't hurt you when it hits you. It's just when you're fighting him on the airship, and he has the ability to blow you off it and cause you to fall to your death. And if he hits you with the Storm Tornado, you can't run through it or jump over it. Unless you're dashing or dash jumping. But I have fought him before, and he never actually used the attack. So we'll see what he does this time. Alright, so this is a loaded level, in that in addition to the heart tank that's in every level, it also has one of the 4 sub-tanks, and it also has another piece of the X-Suit or armor or upgrade, or whatever you call it, this one being the helmet, the head one. To start with, there's no point in going over to the right here. There's stuff over there and some enemies. There's no point in engaging them. There's nothing to be gained. Just stay here. Once you get to the top of this, you're going to execute a dash jump. Normal jump won't cut it. And there's the next heart tank. Very nice. So, we'll just do it again. It's good to be charging, because if those guys grab you and hold you, they explode. But if you're charging while they hold you, if you let go of a charged shot, it'll kill them. But if they grab you when you're not charging, that's a hit you're just going to have to take. When you get up here, jump slightly before you reach the top so you're under him, so he can't grab you. Alright, so the sub-tank's next. So I guess you could normally go here, but after you shoot this guy, you wait a second and this will take you up. This is where you get it, but let's go in the back rather than the front. We can shoot our way in. Oh, look at that, I fell. No problem. Except, this being a Mega Man game, enemies respawn the second they're off the screen. It's weird, I can't believe I fell there. First time for everything. I don't mind making mistakes like that. So there's our first sub-tank, and we can just move on, but we're going to kill the enemy here. He won't turn around even if you shoot him, but if you shoot him, get that nice glass breaking effect. I always get a little impatient fighting these guys on the platforms, because often when I'm playing this game just by myself for fun, I'll try to jump over them and leap into space and take crazy risks, but obviously we're not going to do that here. I want to get this done, so we're just going to take it slowly and carefully. I do get a little impatient, but what can you do? And you have to watch a little carefully too, because as I said, respawning enemies. So if you shoot one of these guys and then the platform goes off the screen, there's a good chance he'll respawn. And if you just jump, see, I don't want to. Okay, he didn't come down far enough. Is he back? No. But yeah, that's another thing too. You might think he's gone and then you jump. See, that's why I didn't jump there. He didn't come back, but he might have. And I don't want to land on him, because that could obviously get you killed. So we ignored there were some of these early in the stage, but there's not really much point going on. You want this one because there's an extra life. It's a little tougher because you have to be on the wall while you do it, but no big deal. Alright. This stage actually has 2 extra lives, that's the first. They're both pretty easy to get. But now next is the helmet upgrade. This is the way to go, but we go down here. Another place to blast our way in. And another capsule from Light. This time no speeches, he just goes straight to the explanation. Now the helmet has very little purpose in this game besides really completing the outfit. As you can see, what he said is that you can break certain surfaces using a headbutt, and obviously that's the stuff that's right here that once again he will demonstrate. This is actually not useful in most of the game. There's only a couple times where you really need it. Although you do need it when you need it. In later games, they correct this and give the helmet extra abilities. Oh, so with boots, you can kick them too. You can break them by kicking them. But yeah, yeah. So in later installments of the X series, the helmet would always have some other ability because I guess they figured they needed to give it a little more purpose. So we saw extra life there. Let's go get it. As you can see up here, a staple of all the Mega Man games. It's been there ever since the original. Oh, hit me too. Are these stupid little annoying guys? They're in every single game. I didn't want to land between 2 of them, but I wound up taking a hit anyway. Sometimes the best laid plans don't work out. Oh, there it is, see? I wasn't charging, so when they grab you, you can't do anything about it. Alright, we're almost at the airship, which is where we will have our showdown. The Storm Eagle, which makes him, you know, a little bit different than the average normal boss. Couple guns to take care of. Not much resistance. Oh, so you got ahead of myself again. Okay, that was just sloppy. But what the good is so yeah, instead of the traditional, you know, hallway with these 2 doors at either thing, you go through here. But you can actually skip that and drop down onto this wing part. Get some power. Now the top will be cleared off, and that's where we'll have our battle. A pretty easy battle. He's another character that is damaged pretty substantially just by the ordinary X-Bus. So he'll start with his flapping wings, which can't knock you off as long as you move against them. But if he hits you with Storm Tornado, no, he's going to do his dive bomb thing, which is probably his best attack. Gets a little annoying because he can really drag it out sometimes. Oh, I misjudged there. But yeah, if you're confident, you can actually hit him while he's doing this, like that. But if you're less confident, you want to be more conservative, you want to break that before it hits, so that'll turn into 4 birds. See this? See it, you can dodge, you can go right under it or that. But if you don't do a dash or dash jump, that will send you clear off the edge. So he did do it, and that is the weapon you get from him. I like this though. It's just annoying when he just dives over and over again, and we know he's going to do a bit more of it. And he already hit me with it once, which is enough to really bother me. Oh, he only did 1. Keeps trying to make that egg thing work. Oh, 2 in a row. That's rare. Almost got him. Not particularly dramatic, but that's how we want it to go. So another thing I didn't talk about yet is actually not, you know, you always want to beat the bosses in a certain order because of getting the weapons and dealing with their various weaknesses, which is not going to factor into how I do things, because I'm not going to be using the weapons. As I said, I'm going to just beat them with the X-Buster and make things more fun. But as you can see, when I killed Storm Eagle there, the airship started to plummet to Earth. And that actually has an effect. So, yeah, so beating certain bosses doesn't just give you the weapons, but it also has an effect on stages going forward. And we're going to see that. Now, this one, it's pretty straightforward. I beat Storm Eagle, and we saw his airship plummet. Well, it actually lands on the factory that makes up the stage that is Spark Mandrills, and has an effect on that stage. It makes it a little easier. Now, I'm not sure how physically how this works, but somehow beating Chill Penguin's stage somehow causes like a bunch of the ice from that stage to freeze over. This is also a factory, the factory the Flame Mammoth stage takes place in. And it really messes it up because it's Flame Mammoth. That's his, you know, so these, whenever you fight these bosses that have like a, you know, a certain power, that's the motif or whatever of the level. So you would expect Flame Mammoth stage to have a lot of fire in it. And normally it would. But if you beat Chill Penguin first, almost all that fire gets iced over and there's almost nothing left. Anyway, we're going to go to him next. Get to see that he's got quite the different name in the Japanese. Quite different from Flame Mammoth. We'll get, wait for it, Burnin' Newmander. I love that. Especially love just how casual that is. The informality of the burnin' instead of burning. So as we can see, yeah, that should be lava on the down here that would kill you, but it's gone, so that makes getting through his stage pretty easy in a lot of places. See, it's a factory where they make various enemies. Those heads can't hurt you, but these guys can, and they shoot a laser. Alright, so I've screwed this up a couple times, and hopefully I won't. And it's one of the reasons I stopped the playthrough, is this is another level that has the trifecta. Besides the heart tank, it also has one of the 4 sub-tanks and another part of the armor, or X-suit, or whatever you want to call it. The X-Buster upgrade is up there. So you need the helmet and the boots, because you need the boots to be able to dash jump, and the helmet to break through. But you can screw it up. And if you screw it up, you don't really get a second chance. You'll either have to, like, kill yourself or just come back later. But I did it. I did it on the first try, because we're getting better. But yeah, it's possible if you miss, you know, if you hit, you know, you break some of the bottom, then fall, then you can't make the jump. This is going well. Okay, so blah, blah, blah. X-Buster. X-Buster upgrade gives you a more powerful charge shot, but also something new that wasn't in the previous series is because, you know, Mega Man's, I think, 4, 5, and 6 all had a charge shot, but it did not extend to weapons, but now it does. So now, whenever you get a weapon from a boss, you can also charge it up and get an added effect, which is pretty cool. So things are going pretty well. Fingers crossed. So as you can see, this should all be lava, but it's not, so you can just go to the edge, because that's where we're going to be able to get our heart tank. There is a way to get this heart tank if the floor is still lava, but I mean, it would be pretty rare, because you'd really have to screw up the order you do things in to do it. You could use Boomer Kawanger's weapon to get it, but anyway. These, by the way, are the other enemies that laugh at you when you get hit. There, you can see them. Their shoulders move in the same way that annoying woodsman does. Anyway. Another extra life, and if we do a dash jump here, once again using the boots and the helmet, kick our way in. So we've gotten all 3. Now I'm going to do a little extra thing that has no purpose, but I just want to show because it's kind of fun, and also have to do with what I was talking about. Talking about how once you have the X-Buster upgrade, you can now have charged up effects of your weapons. So we're going to take the Shotgun Ice and charge it up. Again, this is no practical application here. It's just one of the parts of the game where you can get a lot of mileage out of it. So you can ride on this, and if you do it here, you get quite a lot of road, and of course it kills the enemies, which is satisfying. Anyway, didn't serve any purpose, just for fun, show it off. So we've also got Storm Eagle's Storm Tornado attack weapon. And that would be the weapon you would use on Flame Mammoth, but I'm going to beat Flame Mammoth without it. You can hear that sound, that's me collecting power for the sub-tanks. Just have to have full power for it to work. Gotta be careful about who comes out. There, that was done nicely. So, now with Chill Penguin icing over the stage, this is the only 5 left in the stage. It's kind of pathetic. It's just like some lava dripping off pipes. Pretty sad. Drop over here, let him have it. You know, my first year of college, when I was living with my roommate, good friend Shane, I had this on Super Nintendo, and he was playing it. He got to this part, and he was getting beat up and hit a lot. And I think he actually got killed, and he was getting frustrated. So he passed the control over to me and said, you know, I just want to see how you do it. And I said, okay. Now I'll probably screw it up and not do what I was going to do, but I said, okay, here's how I do it. And I just sort of flew through it like that, and I gave him back the controller, and he was just like, I hate you. Anyway, now we got Flame Mammoth, who, yeah, you would use Storm Tornado on, but keeping to my pledge or promise, that is not what's going to happen. I'll just fight him normally. Flame Mammoth is very large, as you expect, and his size is really one of his best weapons, because he just takes up so much room, and as you can see, if he hits the ground while you're on the ground, it doesn't hurt you, and it makes you fall and immobilizes you for a second. Plus, he can just cross distance really quickly with that jump. And sometimes he shortens up his jump, and sometimes he can go all the way to the wall, and there's no way of knowing. So, that's something that makes him difficult. So, as you can see, he does have a fire attack. See? That one, all the way to the wall. So, that is his fire attack. But he also has another attack where he just shoots out some stuff. He'll do it. That stuff. So, the thing is, if he does the fire attack and it lands on that, he can light it. But that almost never actually happens when I fight him. Sometimes I've dragged out a fight just to make it happen. Anyway, it's going pretty well. I haven't been hit. Might be able to get another flawless victory in here. I did not get it against Storm Eagle. Storm Eagle did hit me with one of his dive bombs, but there we go. Flawless victory. Probably the last of those I'm going to get. Because at this point, the fights are pretty difficult if you're not going to use the proper weapon. In fact, the next fight is really hard. Although it went pretty well for me last time I did this, and of course, I still wound up screwing up that playthrough in another way. Alright. Fire Wave. Very cool weapon. Short range, but very effective against certain enemies. And of course, predictably, it is the weakness of Chill Penguin, although as you can see, it's pretty easy to beat Chill Penguin without it. Alright, so next we would go to him, but we're going to do a quick detour and go back to Chill Penguin stage so that we can get that heart tank that we couldn't get on the first way through. Because now with the fire weapon, we'll be able to get it. Ah. Look at that, I mean, another extra life drop. I'm getting really lucky with some of these drops. I mean, I'm hoping really to not die. At least really limit my deaths. At least not dying until I hit the Sigma stages. Because nobody wants to watch a playthrough with a bunch of deaths and repetition, right? Which is why I've aborted this a couple times, because I have not been happy with my performance. Things are going really well right now, but that could all change really quickly. My problem is I'm really good at the game and I have a lot of confidence. Look at that, this is unprecedented. You can only, I'm at 8 lives, 9 is the most you can have. The drops will still happen, but once you have 9, they just won't register. So we're at 8, and I haven't even done anything to like try to get extra lives, because there are some ways, the best way being in Armored Armadillo stage. Just gotta get through this cave, and then we'll almost be there. So this is repetition, but this is necessary repetition. These purple guys, by the way, as you can see, they actually stop when they first come. So you just have to stay cool and not move and let them come to you. Look at that, this is insane. Never had a run like this. Even if I screw up, this almost seems worth keeping just because of all these extra life drops. So yeah, I've reached the maximum. Can't hold anymore. Still need the suit so you can get this out of your way, although you can break it out with fire. And also just to jump here, you need to jump out, get some fire. And there is our next heart tank. And we can do the escape option. And make our way to Spark Mandrel's stage, which has been altered by the defeat of Storm Eagle, as we'll see. So this is the first boss that potentially could kill me. Now, the weapon that hurts him is Shotgun Ice, and it affects him, renders him almost completely harmless. because not only does it hurt him a lot, but it literally freezes him and stops him in his tracks. So as you can see here's this debris is pieces of the airship having landed here. Has the effect on this early part of the stage in that bolts of electricity should be running through the floor at certain intervals, so that you'd have to like keep jumping to avoid them, but after the crash, I guess that was disabled. As you can see, there is a lower route, but we can't take it right now. That's to get one of the sub-Ts, but we can't get it yet, so we'll have to come back for it. Spark Mandriller, he's not changed too much. It's Spark Mandriller, as we saw. So that's just a moth that's flying through the air. One normal shot can take him out. You just want to keep shooting as you move forward here, and that way you can hit him before he hits you. Again, if I was playing by myself, I probably wouldn't be waiting for the light to come back on. I would just trust myself and make these jumps, but since I'm trying to do this, you know, and not screw up, I'm not taking any unnecessary risks. So while I said I won't use weapons against the actual bosses, I'll use them in parts of the stages where it becomes necessary. So we have a little mini-boss and fireworks on him. He's also been affected by that. He's supposed to have like a laser, but it doesn't work. He's been rendered impotent. I mean, he's literally firing blanks. So now all he can really do is bounce around. And he's... Oh, I got out of the way. But, I mean, he can stick you to the floor. But fire works very well on him. Oh, I'm gonna get hit. That's okay, he's toast. And that gives us some fire back. Oh, I didn't mean to... Ah, never mind. I was trying to switch to the fire so I could fill it up, but I don't even really need it. Let that go too late. Yeah, so this is another part of the stage where normally I'd go a lot faster. But since I'm trying to minimize mistakes and, you know, get hit as little as possible, I'm slowing down and playing it a bit more cautiously than I would normally do it. Feels slow to me, but maybe not to people watching, I don't know. So that can take a full X-Buster blast, steal some. But anyway, here's our next heart tank. Pretty easy to get. Just do a dash jump off the wall. Get through a little faster here. We're going to use Storm Tornado because it takes these guys out in one hit. It's not like we need it for any part later in the stage, so might as well use it now. So now, one last part with the lights going on and off and the moth. It's a little trickier here, but just take your time. See if I do this right. Drop down. There we go. Took them both out. That's how you want to do it. Got hit there. And we're at the end. Okay, so this is the first fight that it could potentially kill me. If I was using Shotgun Ice, it would be a breeze, but I'm not. So it all sort of depends upon what attacks he chooses to use. If he spends a lot of time up on the ceiling, we're good. It's on the floor that he's very fast and unpredictable. He's got two attacks on the floor, basically. One where he does a ground pound that sends a big spark of electricity at you. That's enough to jump. But he also has this, like, dashing forward punch thing he does that's very fast. And also, even if you're not on the floor, if you're on the wall when he hits it, it'll knock you off the wall, and then you'll land into him and damage you quite a bit. So that's what you really have to watch out for, because there's no like animation before it. There's no way to predict it. So you just kind of have to be really fast. See what he starts off with here. Starts with a jump. Didn't see that coming. But yeah, the more time he's up there, the better, because he's vulnerable and he's not down on the floor posing a threat. Still hasn't done it, because often what he'll do is he'll do that zapping thing. This is good. It's good. The more time he spends up there, the easier it is. Yeah, you keep doing that, big boy. Ah, but I did not see that jump coming. No, he's not even going to get to do it, because I'm going to kill him before he does it. So we didn't even see the dash punch. So even though he hit me with a couple jumps I couldn't predict there, that went really well, so... Things are going well, which makes me feel like any second now I'm going to screw up. Well, it's got to stay positive. As I said, the main key is just to not get rattled if I do make a mistake, because that's what's been plaguing me throughout these attempts, is I'll make one mistake and I'll try to shake it off, but it'll really bother me, and, you know, things will just snowball from there. One mistake leads to another, which leads to another, etc. I mean, there's still a few risks left. And, So I guess Armored Armadillo could be next. Now, there's something you can do in Armored Armadillo stage, which I'll talk about, that I'm not going to do because it takes a lot of time and is a lot of, you'd have to watch a little repetition for it to happen. With the secret, where you can get a move, where you can get the Hadouken move from the Street Fighter series. Remember, this is Capcom, and it's pretty funny and it's a cool little Easter egg, but it's actually not that useful. I'll tell you how to get it, but I'm not actually going to do it. So we'll go there next, I guess. Armored Armadillo is also a very hard fight if you're not going to use the weapon on him. The guy we just beat, Spark Angel, his spark attack is what you would use on Armored Armadillo. It would knock his armor off him and make him a lot more vulnerable, and also limit his attacks. Fighting him the old-fashioned way with just the X-Buster is armor, I love that. Is difficult because it's really hard. It's really hard to hurt him. It takes a long time to inflict damage. So here's a place where you can, like, very easily fill up your sub-tanks, because these bats will just keep respawning, and they drop a lot. One's already filled. Okay, so both of them are filled. But the other thing you could do here, and I'm not going to because I don't need to, because I already have 9 lives somehow, is you're going to see a little Easter egg here, is once you kill this bird, look, one of these bats is not like the other. Oh, see, and that's what he does. He doesn't always... That's, by the way, the bat from the original series. You can see the Mega Man 2 and Woodman stage, and other games. So anyway, he has a really high drop rate for extra lives. If you wanted to, if you needed to fill sub-Ts, you could spend some time just going back and forth and shooting those guys to fill them up, killing him to get your extra lives up, which is definitely a requirement if you're trying to do Hadouken, because to do Hadouken, you have to kill yourself several times. So it's a good idea to build up your lives first, but we're not doing that. So anyway, there's a couple of these guys down here below. They can kill you in one hit. And the way the stage wants you to play is you have to drop down in front of them and go as fast as you can so they don't catch up to you and kill you. But there's another way of doing this, and that's just letting them go ahead of you and taking them out with fire. Fire really hurts them. There we go. So if we go back, here's our third sub-tank. But the other impetus, besides, you know, not getting killed for going fast, is you want to get past him before he catches up to a part like here. Like, we don't need this, but if he broke all this, there'd be no way to get up here. You can break that with the helmet. We don't need these. Or now we do, of course, because we just got a sub-T. But anyway, there's another one. Anyway, this is as far as he goes. They die on the spikes, and we move on. There's another one of those a little later in the stage. I knew that was wrong. Now, should have just ignored it. It's okay, no big deal. These are not the kind of mistakes I was talking about. I mean, everybody makes these mistakes, except for like those crazy people that are machines that play through games and never get hit. Maybe I could do that if I devoted my life to it, but I've got other things to do. So we didn't ride the first one, we'll ride this one. You want to jump at the right time here so your momentum will carry you forward. You want to jump up? No, I did it wrong, see? I would have died on those spikes if I hadn't taken a hit. You're temporarily invincible when you get hit. Alright, so here's another guy. It's easy to drop behind him, and once again give him the fire treatment so you don't have to worry about being chased. The stakes are a little higher with him, because as you can see, you want to get to him so he doesn't break here, so you can get up here and get the heart tank. I'm always worried about the low ceiling there. I'm worried I'm going to bang my head and fall back onto the spikes. So here's our final ride. So what you would do here is we're going to wind up outside in a second. So you want to clear all these flying ducks out of your way, so you don't bang into them. And you want to jump up here and land here. And then you want to jump off to your death. You want to make sure your feet don't touch this. You want to clear this, and you want to... Then you want to do it 3 more times. I don't know, I can't remember. It's either you have to do it 4 times and on the 4th time it works, or do it 4 full times and on the 5th time it works. But either way, once you've done the amount, you'll see it. Because when you're coming through and you land back up here, right here, one of Light's special capsules will pop up, and instead of his normal lab coat, he'll be dressed like Ryu. He'll have the karate gi and headband on, and he'll tell you about Hadouken, and you'll get it, and you know, you get it, and it works the same way as it works in the game. Down forward attack, or down forward Y, or down forward square, however you want to say it, does it. And what's cool about it is, one thing, Mega Man actually speaks. He goes, Hadouken! He has like this little tiny voice when he says it. Another thing is, it kills anything, including bosses, in 1 hit. But the catch is, you have to be at full power to do it, so once you get hit, you can't do it. And the other thing is, even though, as fighting moves go in a fighting game, it's very quick and easy to pull off, just down forward, in a game like Mega Man, that extra fraction of a second can really cost you, so it's actually pretty hard to pull off in a lot of situations. But anyway, that's how you would get it. I'm not going to show it because you'd have to watch me fall to my death several times in a row. So yeah, Armored Armadillo is kind of a tough fight. It's more of an endurance fight. It's not that his attacks or anything that hard. It's just that you have to fight him for a long time. If you're taking this route, I mean, again, we can just blast him with the spark and kill him really quickly. But if we're going to do it, as I said, this way, it just takes a long time to hurt him. Because the armor, of course, will block attacks, and he can absorb attacks too, as you'll see. So he usually starts doing this cheap move. So he'll absorb, but you want to shoot and jump when you do it. Those come at such an interval that it's actually pretty hard to dodge me. Okay, he looks slammed right into me. And he's invincible when he does this, unless you've knocked the armor off him with the sparks, in which case, then he can never be invincible. Okay, you're really milking this, buddy. This is getting annoying. Ah, and then he ends by hitting me. See, I could very well die here, because it's just really hard to hurt him. Especially if he's going to just keep pulling this nonsense, which is just so cheap. I mean, I don't mind if he does it. I almost slammed into him. Getting distracted by my phone now. That's the last thing I need. As you can see, it's hard to hurt him. I hate it when he just comes straight at you. I might wind up actually using a sub-T to beat him, as much as I don't want to. Because I don't want to fight him a bunch of times. Ah. Killed me. Okay, so next time I'm in trouble, I might use a sub-T, because you know what, I never promised I would die in this, but if I die too many times, I will pull the plug. I want to do this properly. Again, I know I'm being stubborn, because I could just take him out with the spark weapon. But I said I could beat him without it, and I intend to. Already in a bit of a better rhythm. If he does this a bunch, it's all this bouncing around that makes it really difficult. Because there's no way of knowing when he's going to come out of it. And sometimes he goes straight back into it. Incredibly cheap. Getting a better feel, though. I'm getting a little better at anticipating. Ah! now that he's at low, okay. Sometimes when you get him down low, he just, yeah, he does this over and over again. It's really cheap. I think I've got him now. There we go. So, he did kill me once, which really bothers me, but I mean, look there. That was really good. So I feel better, so I'm not going to let that one death bother me. Fact is, at this point, if you're not going to be using weapons on the bosses, they're going to be difficult. Rolling shield. Spoilers, this is the weapon that actually is most effective against the final form of Sigma, the final boss in the game, is that rolling shield. Alright, so what's left to do here? There's nothing to go back for in stages. We've gotten what we could get. We still need the sub-T from here. We can't get that yet. So the next thing to do is... Launch Octopus himself is not hard, but... This is what actually wound up halting one of my playthroughs, is that... Launch Octopus's stage has some spikes in it. Launcher Octopulo, or Octopold, I guess, Octopold. Gotta have a water guy in a dumb water stage. Hate water stages. But anyway, this stage has some spikes in it. And of course, as you know, spikes can kill you in one hit. And most of the time playing through it, I have no trouble. But for whatever reason, I died on spikes like twice in a row. Not here. Much, like, it gets a little tough. Look at that. Got that life back that Armadillo took from me. But anyway, you'll see there's a couple places in this level with spikes where it could be problematic. Again, not really there. No. Oh, almost there. That's what happens when you just jump into space without looking where you're going. That's not even what I was talking about, though. So, there's two of these guys. The first guy's no problem. You're just fighting him on even ground. Got these missiles. They're kind of difficult to dodge. I don't care if I do or not. So, he's no problem. But the second one, you're on uneven ground, and there are spikes involved. In fact, I think you just go right into it. Oh, these fish can swallow you, but it doesn't hurt you. And you can just blast your way out, or you can just get out by jumping up and down. They're just annoying. Alright, here's the next guy. He's a problem because he can do that suction thing. See? Look at that. That was very close to killing me. So that's what makes this difficult. Try to jump up above it. See, that's why you just want him shooting missiles as much as possible. Because of the real risk. There we go. But yeah, a couple times he wound up pulling me onto the spikes, which is super annoying. But there's one little other place left. Come on. I don't even think we need this, but... Or yeah, we do. Sub-T's. But it's in getting the, No, 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 no. No, no, I don't want this. I want this one. As you can see, if you climb this one up, let this one take you up. There's a nice whale ship. Take it out in one hit with the storm tornado, and it breaks through the floor, and it takes you down to the area. And this is how you get... And this is how you get the heart tank of the stage. And it's not that hard, but here's spikes. Okay, again, they're pretty easy to avoid, no big deal. But what we're getting is this guy. Now, in fact, maybe just you can ride him. You can get up on his back and ride him and shoot him. And this is normally how I beat him. But I become kind of paranoid because a couple times that I was doing this, I beat him, but then after he dies, you know, you fall down, and I've fallen right onto the spikes. It's embarrassing. So that's why I'm kind of staying to the ground, which I normally wouldn't do. There we go. I was just doing that to, again, to mitigate risk, I guess. Minimize risk. So very good. Launch Octopus himself is not particularly hard fight. I mean, they all have their challenges if you're not going to use a weapon on them. Launch Octopus also has the distinction of being the only boss in the game who is, technically, he's affected by 2 different weapons instead of just one. The rolling shield I just got as his weakness, but also there's another weapon that can have a strong effect on him. And you will get to, if you stick with me, I will show you how every weapon works, because this being a Mega Man game, you know, you're going to fight all the bosses again anyway. So the second time I fight the bosses, I will fight them the proper way with the weapons, but for the first part I just want to show off a little, show some of my skill, separate myself a little from the pack, to show that I'm capable of beating them without special weapons. So this guy you can ride all you want, because there's no risk about landing on spikes. You saw they were being made in the factory in Flame Mammoth stage. Or at least the heads. I don't know where the rest goes. Another extra life drop. This is insanity. I'm thinking even if I do screw this up, I'm going to have to keep it just to show off all these extra life drops. Alright. So this is great. I'm at full power. Launch Octopus. So Launch Octopus, he has homing torpedoes, and he has two different kinds of torpedoes he shoots at you. One is easy enough, you shoot out of your way. Then he's got these other ones that are like differently shaped, and they're hard to dodge. Besides that, he's kind of a one-trick pony. He goes back and forth, and he has like a weird, I don't know, like a vortex thing he gets into, as you'll see. He also has a nice little "you're going down" gesture here. Right there. So he's gonna. If you just stay here and shoot, you know, that's great. That's money. If he does that the whole fight, no problems whatsoever. Okay, see, there's the other ones. They're pretty hard to... It's pretty hard to shoot all of them and dodge. Yeah, see? And if you stay flat-footed, you'll get hit. But you can never tell, yeah. But if he does this, you can stay flat-footed. Keep shooting. But yeah, I'm getting hit every time he does that. I'm not too concerned, but... But anyway, there is a way, using Boomer Kawanger's weapon, to cut off his arms. And if you do that, he can't do this anymore, or fire those. So it makes him, you know, really helpless. Because he jumps back and forth doing that, and shooting those. Had to get one more hit in, did you? Fine. I gotcha. Alright, this is going really well. So I feel like, you know, once we get to the Sigma stages, everything's gonna fall apart. But going really well. One death that was kind of avoidable. Homing torpedo. So this doesn't really show it, but they do home. Like, they will change direction and chase enemies around the screen. And they're actually, besides being the weakness for Boomer Kawanger, they're actually what hurts Vile when we fight Vile later. Forget about Vile? Yeah, he's going to show up again. Alright, next we'll do Sting Chameleon. Even though you probably normally wouldn't do it that way, because it's actually Boomer Kawanger's weapon that works on Sting Chameleon. But again, we're not using weapons, so let's do Sting Chameleon next. So once again, we have a stage being affected here, in that you want to do Launch Octopus's stage before Sting Chameleon, or Sting Camelio, or something as it says here. Because if you don't beat Launch Octopus's stage first, there's areas in this level that have water, and as you can see, that would be dry if I didn't just beat Launch Octopus. Now that's not important. That doesn't really have much to do with anything. But there's a couple other parts with water where you need the water, and you'll see it when it happens. There's those woodsmen again. Kill Penguin stage. Those guys, if you let them land, they like skim on the water. We've seen those insects before. Alright, so here, this is the way to go, but if we drop down here, so you need a couple things. You need there to be water, and you need the boots, and you need, well, you don't really need a helmet. You kick your way in, but the helmet helps you do that. So, if there wasn't water here, this jump's impossible. But with water, you just do a nice, oops, I almost didn't do it. Do a nice dash jump, and you land here, and it's the only way to get there and back. So you need the water to pull that off. Once again, we're not going to take the route. Oops, screwed that up. Now we're going to go up, and this is where the last piece of the X-suit is, the chest plate, which is good because it helps you absorb, or it helps you take less damage. So you have this little boss here that you have to fight first, and he's super annoying. He's not particularly he's not particularly dangerous, although I did just sloppily let him land on me. Even though, as you can see, he's really slow and predictable. You can only hurt him in his tiny little head. The rest of his body's invincible. And I have tried, because it just takes a while to beat him, and I get impatient, so I've unloaded every weapon in the game on him to see if he has any weaknesses. He doesn't. Just fight him this way. Another thing is, actually, I didn't, like, maybe know this for years, but see when he tries to grab you here? There, you can shoot in there, although it's kind of risky to do, but I don't think I knew that for, like, at least a few years playing this until I tried it one time, or maybe saw somebody else do it. But you can do a good amount of damage if he grabs you. He'll slam you off the wall. I mean, you have to be pretty sloppy to get grabbed. Really, his main thing is, being big and jumping around, kind of like playing Mammoth. As you can see, he's smoking, and I think that's because they wanted to put something in to let you know you were actually hurting him, because it gets frustrating. You're not sure if you're hurting him or not, and it's taking a long time to kill him, so the smoke is kind of there just to let you know, yeah, what you're doing is working, just keep it up. So very close. Oh yeah, I just get impatient fighting. But there's no fast way of killing him. Doesn't matter what weapon you use. There we go. So once he's out of the way, we will get the last capsule for our chest plate. So we will complete the outfit, and yeah, this decreases the amount of damage you take by half, so it's a pretty big deal. Great upgrade. So I'm not even going to see one of the things that the helmet could do. I got a little OCD thing here, so I want to get here. Wait, just want to make the screen move over. There we go. I don't know why I need that. Anyway, if you didn't fight that guy and you come through here, see this stuff? This would all be falling from the ceiling, and it can hurt you if you don't have the helmet. But if you're landing in your... Anyway, once you kill that guy, it stops. These guys just hit them with full charge shots. Some of them you can actually over, some of them you can't because the ceiling's too low. Like, you couldn't really do it here cleanly. Just wait and kill them. One more. Ah, I wasted the whole thing. Alright, we're through. We get another mech. These guys are annoying. Bugs come out of the tree. Aren't you supposed to be eating the bugs, not freeing them? There's actually an extra life up here, and we don't even need it, because we're, like, full. This guy's guarding nothing, but we'll kill him anyway. Oh. Doesn't even register, because it's full. Here we get another section with a mech here. Go through this mud. All our sub-Ts are full, too. Well, there's still, oh yeah, there's still one sub-T left. We need to beat Boomer Kwanger to get it, though. Yeah, so there's no even point in jumping out there and getting that. I'm already full. Somebody's texting me or something. Come on, people, don't distract me. I'm trying to get through this. Things are going really well, and I don't want to get jinxed. Oh. Mechs can only take so much damage. Alright, so this is not that hard of a fight, but still poses its challenges. The main thing is, being a chameleon, he'll do this thing where he blends into the background to go invisible or whatever, but the truth is, you can guess where he is, but he's invincible, so it doesn't really matter. So it's not really so much being invisible as it is being invincible, but anyway. His tongue is and there's spikes on the ceiling, so you don't want to get up too high on the wall if you're going to use the walls. But there's his face. He's going to do that all throughout the fight. So he'll either jump straight at me, or he'll hang from the ceiling. Let's see what he does. Now, when he hangs from the ceiling, he can make spikes fall down that are fairly difficult to dodge. In the meantime, you want to keep moving. That's no big deal. The tongue is a problem. Sometimes if he's close enough to you, like this, yeah, see, he'll attack with the tongue. That's what you really want to avoid. If he's at a distance, he's not really that big of a problem. It's when he crowds you. Ah, I hate that, because I missed him. The less he does of the ceiling, the better, because it's pretty difficult to dodge that stuff falling down on you. This is easy enough to dodge. Boomer Kwaanger's weapon is what works on him, and what's great about it, like how most weapons do, is it doesn't just damage him, but it knocks him right out of his attack. So if he's hanging from the ceiling, it knocks him right off the ceiling, as we will see when we fight him for a second time. But yeah, he's pretty manageable as long as he's not doing this, coming at you. There, he missed me, but I missed him. Sometimes I'll do it twice in a row. Ah. This is what... Because it's hard not getting hit there. I really should have, like, muted my phone, because it's going to drive me nuts. Probably my mother or somebody texting me. Oh, no, this isn't good. Yeah. See, even though I've been hurting him a lot, he can turn the cables quickly if he hits me a few times. Yeah, why don't you do that? Just keep doing that, idiot. More than halfway. Ah. Yeah, if he gets stubborn and just starts doing that, we're in trouble. Just keep chipping away, we're getting him. Ah, I hit the ceiling trying to get out of the way. These all turn very quickly if I'm not careful. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Ah, you bastard. Okay, I've got you no matter what you do. There. Now I'm gonna check my phone and see what's going on. This is getting distracting. Okay, hopefully that takes care of that. Alright, we're in good shape. So we've got one boss left, and that would be Boomer Quanger. And this is my favorite stage. I really love his stage. It's, as you can see, it's a tower, and then all you do is start at the bottom and work your way up to the top to fight him. It's my favorite stage and has my favorite music too. Really dig the music here. Boomer Quanger, the only guy who in both versions has the same name. I figure, like, when I saw Burnin' Newmander and stuff like that, they're like, Flame Mammoth, obviously. But with Boomer Quanger, they're like, we don't even know what he is, but that sounds good. So yeah, I really like this stage. A lot of good intensity. Just want to draw him down. Oh, did that wrong. The next guy you don't even have to deal with. Those things are annoying because they sort of dodge, they'll move out of the way. But there's no point wasting time. Just do a nice jump here. There we go. Don't have to bother with them. So here's this bit with these lasers. If you trip the laser, those guys will fire on you. It is possible to dodge it, but it's pretty tough. So you want to avoid the laser if you can, if at all possible. See it? Oh, see? I tripped it, but I managed to dodge. Do it again. Oh, this stage also, you get to incorporate some weapons nicely. And we can show off what this does if you charge it up. You can get a vertical one. Very nice. Whoa. Let's do it again. We're about to show off Rolling Shield's ability, which is at its most useful probably in this part of the game. So Rolling Shield does that, but if you charge it up, you'll get a nice shield on yourself, and it absorbs certain attacks. It's interesting because it'll work on certain guys and not others, but here it's really nice. So you got this elevator going up. You want to avoid the spikes, of course, because they can kill you in one hit, but you have these idiots flying in after you. But you don't have to worry about it if you got this charged up. And the best thing is, this will last. It won't run out. So you can just concentrate on avoiding the spikes and not worry about those guys at all. And even better, it becomes useful in X section too, where you're going up some ladders and stuff. Because here we've got some guns coming out of the wall. This will block their shots and kill them on contact. And it's also really good for, you know, climbing a ladder to kill those lizards, so it's just great. And we're going to use our third weapon when we get to the top here, so we can get the heart tank. Alright. Now, it doesn't work on this guy. As soon as it touches him, it's gone. But anyway. Oh, wait. We'll go back to normal for a second. Just to get this guy out of the way. So this is where finally the charged up version of Shotgun Ice, which I showed off in Flame Mana stage, just for fun, actually has its like one practical application, and it's to get the heart tank there. We're going to just ride it out. We want to make sure this gets out of our way so it doesn't knock us off. Now here, don't overcomplicate things, just jump straight up. And we got it. Very good. So that's every heart tank. All that's left is, and we've got all the soup. The only thing that's left is one more sub-T, which is back in Spark Mantle stage. And we will be able to get that as soon as we do this stage. Upper, upper, always upward. Twirling, twirling towards freedom. Yeah, that was a little sloppy. These enemies seem fairly benign, but if you leave them be, it can all add up. Okay. Now we'll have our showdown with Boomer Quanger. Now, Boomer Quanger's weakness is the homing torpedo, which makes him a snap. Boomer Quanger is the fastest boss in the game. He's extremely fast. He can basically teleport around. So the key to beating him, if you're not going to use the homing torpedo, is you have to be fast too. Basically, the key is just never stop moving. Just be in constant movement. So that means I can't hit him with a lot of charged shots a lot of the time. So see, that's how he moves. But yeah. It's just always be moving. Just always want to stay ahead of him. It's actually pretty easy to dodge that, although I did land into him. I say it's easy to dodge it, now I'm getting hit by it. But yeah, once you hit the floor, just never stop, because he's always trying to creep up behind you, and land on you. See? Like that. Be annoying. But just keep moving. That is most vulnerable right after he throws that, but sometimes he's not always prepared. Whoa. But yeah, see, he's always trying to teleport to land on top of you. Ooh. He has his most powerful attack is if he teleports and lands like right next to you, he can grab you with his horns and then like throw you up into the ceiling. And that does quite a bit of damage. There. But there, no problem. So there, all the bosses and their stages have been complete, but we're just going to do a quick double dip, go back to Spark Mantle stage for a moment, so that we can get that last sub tank, and then we can move on to the Sigma stages. But with this being the last boss beaten, we're going to get a little cutscene here with Zero talking about how, oh, now I've found Sigma's fortress. Well, isn't that good timing? Too bad you couldn't have found it before I had to deal with these guys. But whatever. I like how he has no comment about how, like, I'm obviously more powerful and look different. No, he's just like, I found Sigma's fortress! Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what you were doing, X. Probably nothing. Okay, I am not translating. I'm just ad-libbing. But anyway, he'll go, you know, let's go. It's time to attack Sigma's fortress, blah, blah, blah. And now we get the Sigma stage. But not yet. We will return to Spark Mantle stage. There's nothing else to go back for, is there? No, there isn't. I got absolutely everything. All that's left is this. Heart tank, yes. Heart tank, yes. 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 Yep. All that's left is the fourth sub-tank. Luckily, you don't have to go too far into the stage to get this. So this will only take a moment. Normally we would go up, here we'll go down. I can't remember how I figured this out. I probably just saw Ryan do it the first time. But yeah, it's like, how do you get through there? We can't, like, no, we can't break down this door or anything. But the thing is, Boomer Quanger's weapon is like a boomerang type thing. Does this, comes back to you. But that doesn't reach. But if you jump, change the trajectory, boom. So you can use that to grab items. But that's the part of the game where it's absolutely necessary. So there we go. I guess we could fill that fourth T. We'll just do that quickly. Because, yeah. I don't anticipate needing all 4 sub-Ts, but it is a pain trying to fill them on the fly, so we could just do some legwork here. It won't take long, it's only one. And these guys' drop rates are pretty good. Always giving stuff up. It's funny, like sub-Ts, all they do is fill your power, and yet they take way more than would, you know, take if you're picking it up to fill your power meter, but anyway. Whatever. There, it's done. Yeah, it was easy. Alright, so yeah, we've got absolutely everything. I have all the weapons, all the sub-Ts, all the parts of the X-suit, all the upgrades, all the heart tanks. So now we move on to the first Sigma stage, which is where, very possibly, I could start to screw up, since obviously the difficulty does ramp up a bit here. And have another little chat with Zero. Same sort of thing as before, you know. Now's the time. I'll go ahead and distract. I don't know. He always thinks he's gonna go ahead, but by going ahead, he skips everything and leaves you to deal with it. Well, that's okay. So yeah, now the level design is even more conniving, trying to trip you up. As we'll see, there's going to be some really cheap ways of like mixing certain enemies together or certain placement. But I've seen it all before, nothing I can't handle. That's okay. Alright, so this part is kind of difficult, because you're going to ride a bunch of these platforms. So, to make things a little easier, you'll give yourself the rolling shield, so that when those stupid purple guys fly at you, you don't have to deal with them. Now these jumps, some of them are kind of difficult, and you just have to be careful. Like here, that's the time to jump there. You don't want to jump when it moves away, so you want to wait for them to come together and go right up like this. The problem here is, there's never a time it's close. You're just going to have to make a big jump at a certain point. But you want it coming towards you, otherwise you can jump off of it. Oh, see? That's frustrating. So I might fall a few times. I shouldn't fall to my death, though, I'm pretty sure of it. Just want to stay cool. Oh, see? And don't overplay it. You overplay it, and you will fall. Alright, just one more jump to go. So you want it moving towards you, so that it will come under you when you hop up. There, we're up there. Yeah, it wasn't so painful. Once again, these guys. I just used that because it was the first thing to show up. See the placement here? That's really annoying. They really put some thought into this in the best way to, like, hit you. Going well. Oh, by the way, you can do this. It's kind of cool. You actually dash under these guys. Their legs don't hurt you. Alright, so it looks like finally, hey, we're gonna have a rematch with Vile. But then Zero pops up and says, "Stay back, X. I'll take him on." And you know that's not gonna go well. So we chase after them. For a second you can't move, and that makes all the difference in the world. Can't move, can't move, can't move. Those sounds didn't sound very good. I dropped my controller. Okay, so we are now past the part of fighting bosses without weapons. I've demonstrated my skill, I've beaten them, so now it's time to use them properly, and for Vile, you want to use the homing torpedo. So we heard that mech sound, we know he cheated. So there you go, he's subdued Zero and caught him. Yeah, he's just boasting about how awesome he is. And you know, prepare to, you know, to kill me now. Zero's like, don't listen to him, X, you can kick his ass. Or wait, yeah, we don't need this yet. He's like, his, you know, X and his ancient weapons are no match for me, he says. So actually I want to put the torpedoes away. Because once again, even though I'm so much more powerful now, heart tanks and all these weapons and, of course, the suit, it's still the same result. I can't hurt him. And I can't dodge him. So once again, it's the same as the first go-around, even though it's a little longer because you've got more power. Just have to let him beat you. You know, I have to make it look good by making it seem like I'm trying to fight him off. But we have to let the same thing happen. And I like to let him get me over here. Let me go, because if you land right next to here, he feels the need to separate you from Zero. So he drops you over here, then walks back, and he seems to like, I don't know what he's planning to do next, but anyway. Zero says here, maybe, but I'm not through yet. And does like a kamikaze attack. To take out the carrier. But Vile's still fine. He says something like, what a worthless gesture. I can't be defeated so easily. And he's like, now I'm gonna kick your ass, X. But now, inexplicably, I do this. And he's like, what the? Where did that energy come from? But then he very quickly calms down and says, it really doesn't matter how much energy you absorb, X. You're still no match for me. Maybe this is where he talks about the ancient weapons. So anyway. But now that I've got these, just be... yeah. Don't spam on them. You can only get hit so often, so just space out how you shoot them. Especially considering you are going to need weapon again later to deal with Boomer Quanger. It's weird. Most of the time when you do these stages, like, it's like usually like 4 of the bosses are in one and 4 are in the other. And this they're more broken up in that this has 3 bosses. It has Vile, a special boss at the end, and 1 of the original 8 bosses. For some reason, just 1. It's Boomer Quanger. So now we can have a little moment with Zero. He's going to have a death scene saying, you know, I'm too far gone, X. My repair systems can't handle it. Blah, 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 blah. But you've become so powerful now. You can take on Sigma. That's basically what he says. And of course, that's the last we ever see of Zero. No, never ever see him again. He's dead for good. Certainly won't be in future games. See, look how diabolical this is. Like, look at this. That thing on the floor is like a spring. It's to bounce you up into towards the ceiling, so that you'll trip the laser there, so that he'll shoot you. If I try to jump in there, I mean, I can see how it's supposed to be done. Watch. And I did it wrong. My timing was off. See, it's really diabolical how that is thought up. Ah. But there, see, if you use that properly, you can get it to springboard you clear. Alright, now we're coming to the... I still haven't shown, like, how all the weapons work when they're charged up. So, this is Sting Chameleon, just sort of like a triple blast. However, if you let it go here, you're invincible. Obviously not forever, so you gotta move as fast as you can. This is a great part of the game to use it in, because it's really hard to avoid getting hit. It's good to stop there and just do it again, because you won't make it all the way to the top before it runs out. There, that handles that. So now we got Boomer Quanger, who I already defeated quite easily. Now I'll defeat him even more easily using the proper weapon on him. Just bounce around, stay off the floor. Again, there's no need to blast out a whole bunch, because he needs to recover each time he gets hit. So just jump around and avoid his attacks, and let the torpedoes do their work. So yeah, so he's the only of the original 8 bosses you fight in this stage, which is kind of weird. Okay, so this game has gone really well for me. And now we're coming to the hardest boss in the game for me personally. Harder than Sigma is the boss of this stage. And it's entirely possible he killed him once. This is what I have the sub-tease for. We're at the home stretch, he's coming up. And other people don't have a lot of trouble with him. I've always had trouble with him. It's this damn spider. And I hate him with all my heart. Ah. Look at this. Again, just conniving. Alright. So the weapon that works on him is ice. Unfortunately, the way he moves and the way his patterns and everything make him extremely difficult for me. He does this thing where he drops down from the ceiling, and it gets faster and faster as he does it. If you go on the walls, you shouldn't go on the walls. You go on the walls, he'll drop spiders that attack you, so best to stay off the walls. Now, originally, he has like this lattice work stuff in the background that's green that shows his route. But once you get him about halfway, he stops following it completely, and you just have to guess. And he gets faster and faster. And the other thing is, you can only hit him, he's invincible all the time, except for one moment when he hits the floor. And then this red part of him will open. You have to hit him in that moment, and that's the only moment you get. So getting the first half is not a problem. See, he comes down on those. This damn spider, so let's see how it goes. And that's how you do it. Unfortunately, he's going to get a lot faster and a lot more unpredictable. Starts off fine, stay off the walls. Yeah, I missed there, see? You have to be fast. By the way, you don't have to be on the walls for him to drop the spiders. Sometimes he just drops them anyway. Ah, too slow. See, there they are. And when they're on there, they screw everything up. Ah. Come on. Okay, now he's gonna stop following the rules. See that green stuff? It means nothing now. He'll just do whatever he wants. And he's gonna get a lot faster. Ah, damn it. I don't mind taking a hit if I can hit him, but... See, I'm starting to miss. If I run out of ice, I'll really be in trouble. Just gotta stay calm. That went well. That was cheap. See, he can, even though he's always moving down, he can cover a lot of distance and corner you. Like that. I didn't mind because I got to hit him. See, look how fast he is now. Now, as a precaution, I'm going to use a sub-T, because as I said, this is the one part of the game I've never had a lot of confidence about. I've never felt good fighting this damn spider. Everything else, great, no problem, for the most part. But the spider, this is my Achilles heel, or whatever you want to call it. And I got him, so I didn't even need that, but I don't regret it. I was, you know, I was being cautious. Great, though. So I shouldn't have any more problems until I get to Sigma himself. There's another stage to go before the final Sigma stage. And there's nothing to go back for. I'm not going to fill that sub-T, because I'll get an opportunity to later. Because really, the main reason I was filling those sub-Ts was for the damn spider, because I've always had trouble with him. But there, I got him on the first try, and even though I did use a sub-T, I wound up not using it. So I can feel pretty good about that. So now we just get some fights with some of the bosses. And it will be much easier this time, because now I'm going to use the weapons on them. Who do we start with? Is this Storm Eagle? Nope. We get Chili Willy. He's already the easiest boss in the game. Now he's going to be really easy, because I'm going to use fire on him. So you can see what that does. Nice effect. So if he was easy before, now he's ridiculously so. Knocks him out of every attack. Oh, I don't think so. Again, if I get hit here, it's only out of overconfidence, but I don't think I'm gonna mess up. Oh, there I did, because I was just a little late and forgot that even against fire, he has a moment of invincibility. But anyway, no worries there. He's taken care of. Yeah. So this will be a lot less dramatic than the first time through, because for the purposes of making this a little different and showing off a little, I did kill every boss without using the weapons. But now, it's the second time through, it's time to unload with the weapons. Come on, you. Just thinking, those spikes will kill you in one hit, but not if you're in the mech. I always think it would be so great to fight a boss with one of these things. You finally get to do that in Mega Man X4. There's a way, if you're smart enough, to get to the boss. What the hell's his name? His name is like something Dragoon, Fire Dragoon, something like that. You can fight him. It's pretty satisfying. Two ways to go here. I think we'll go to the right. Still have to worry about the left. The left can still affect you, because they shoot through the walls. Almost made it unscathed, now I'm getting hit. Okay, this is getting... My timing is all off. Oh my god, okay. Gotta take these guys out. They're clearly a problem. Probably should have taken the left way all along, I guess. That was embarrassing. Okay, so now we've got Storm Eagle, who again was a very easy fight anyway, but now he'll be even easier using his weakness, Sting Chameleon's Chameleon Sting. No new tricks, all the same bullshit. Yeah, see, he does a nice chunk of damage. That's the one thing. Those birds might have hit me because there's a little bit of a delay when you shoot that, as you can see. Which makes it a little hard. See, it's slower, so it's harder to hit him when he's doing that because there's a delay on it. But if you're close enough, you can pull it off like that. Did miss him a couple times. One more, and you are toast. To our regular scheduled program. Once again, the placement here is difficult. Like, how are you supposed to deal with this guy when he's on the wall like that? Let's go back and do the invincibility thing. I mean, keep moving. There we go. I can't remember if there's any more bosses. I don't think so. I think now we're actually at the boss of the stage. Yes, we are. And I'm keeping this on because this is the weapon that hurts it. This is a pretty easy boss, though. It's this face. It's got the two eyes. One on the left, one on the right. Okay, stop that. And it does this thing. This is the only, that's when the nose is... Okay, I'm taking some hits here. Those spikes will kill you in one hit, so be careful. Oops. Okay, I did not do that well. Okay, I'm a bit sloppy. Let's fix this. There we go. Now there's only one eye left. I got hit again, though. That's not good. The eye's not a problem if you can keep your distance, though. See, if you're over here, it's no problem. Now it's just you and me, nose. Still does that thing where he becomes invincible for a second. Yeah. But see, actually a kind of non-dramatic fight, really. Especially after the spider. I mean, the spider I find so difficult, and then that guy is nothing. Alright. One more Sigma stage to go with the bosses, and then the final confrontation. We're getting close, we're getting close. Right back to work. This is where we take out the rest of the original bosses. What we got left? So we got Launch Octopus, Flame Mammoth. You guys. And we start... Ah, now you're gonna see how tough he is when he doesn't have his precious armor. Just trying to switch to it. There it is. Oh, he can still block. There. No more armor. So even though he can still do that, he's not invincible anymore. You can hurt him while he does it. Yeah, so this fight, which originally took quite a long time, drastically shortened by one more will take you out. That felt good. Considering he's the only thing that killed me in the game so far. But, see, if you're using the proper weapon on him, he doesn't have any chance. Never would have happened. Oh, look who it is, the laughing guys. Damn you. So it's probably Spark Mandrill next. See if I'm right. You think I'd remember having played this so many times? Yeah. I know, it's Sting Chameleon, I think. Yeah. So this is what hurts Sting Chameleon. And this will knock him right off the ceiling. You just gotta pull him over, and you can just get him in like an endless pattern of going back and forth. I mean, he did get a tail attack off there, but he's not usually going to get the chance if you're fast enough. Still have to dodge the stuff that comes down, and I just got hit there, but you can see it's hurting him quite a bit, so one more will take him out. No problem. So maybe Spark Mandrill's next. Who's even left? Launch Octopus and Spark Mandrill, are they the only ones left? No, Flame Mammoth is left. But... ah, you bastard. Here's a perfect opportunity to use that weapon again. Very nice. Okay, you can tell by the ceiling there that this is Spark Mandrill. He was I mean, I killed him pretty well, but he's a dangerous fight. He didn't even get to do his punch thing. We'll see if he does it this time, but look. Every time, no matter what he does, I can just stop him in his tracks. There's that punch. Tried it again. But I mean, you can literally, I'm actually letting him attack. You can just spam on it like this and just never give him a chance. I was trying to show off his attacks there for a second. Next one, and he's dead. Yeah. That's probably, of all the weapon effects in the game, that might be the most satisfying. It's just stopping that idiot in his tracks every time. Alright, so... on water, so obviously Launch Octopus is up next. What's great is sometimes water means spikes, but there's actually no spikes in this section, just these fish that aren't even dangerous. Now here's the cool thing about Launch Octopus. So he's the only boss in the game that sort of has two weaknesses. Because Rolling Shield is what hurts him. But if we open... oh. But if we open with the boomerang, we can actually get rid of those pesky arms. I don't know if you need to do a charge shot or just hit him with it a lot. There we go. No more arms. A farewell to arms. Okay. The only thing about using the Rolling Shield is, while it hurts him, it makes it harder to shoot those stupid torpedoes out of your way. That's why I'm taking some hits here that I wouldn't have taken before. So in some ways, it would actually be smarter maybe to just kill him normal. Because if you do this, now he can't do anything. Because you can just shoot his stupid torpedoes out of the way. But yeah, he can't even do his vortex thing. This is literally all he can do is hop back and forth and shoot his torpedoes, not even the special ones. So yeah, while Rolling Shield is what hurts him, if you take his arms off, it's better to just do that, because then you don't have to worry about getting hit by those torpedoes. So I think Flame Mammoth is all that's left. Go invincible. Go on this. Once again, we're at the full capacity for lives. But a nice part to use that, yeah, so we finish off with Flame Mammoth, or Rockman X, Burn a New Mander. It was an easy enough fight without a weapon, but Storm Tornado really does a number on him. Another option is if you are up here, you can let it go like, oh, I didn't charge it enough. Wait. There, you can do that. So you really don't even have to move around and engage with them. You can just stay up there and keep doing that. But let's get through this quickly. Whoop. Very nice. That's everybody, isn't it? I believe so. So that's all the original bosses. Oh, did we just go straight into the last guy? Okay, so this is kind of an interesting boss. And his thing is he tries to crush you. He's going to get a lot faster. Right now he's fairly... Anyway, Sparks works on him pretty well. Ah, see, it wasn't fast enough. Really, you don't want to land at all. That's what you want to do. You don't want to land at all. Oh, this is tough. Yeah, see, right now he's slow enough that I can dodge that. When he does this, go up as high as you can. When you drop, you can get a shot off. Ah, messed that up. Movements are unpredictable, and he gets faster and faster. Still, I should be able to beat him. See, if I'd landed, I wouldn't have had a shot there. You want to be in the air as much as possible. Yeah, he tries to crush you against the wall. He's definitely a unique boss. I enjoy fighting him. I missed my chance there. Ah, see, now he's gonna... Yeah, now he's gonna go really fast. So moments where I was safe before, I'm not anymore. Ah, yeah, see? Much faster. Gonna run out of spark shot. I managed to dodge that time. Very nice. Yeah, I was pretty sure I wouldn't need a sub-T against him. See, really, the spider is my only problem. And even though I used a sub-T for him, I wound up not using it. I was just erring on the side of caution. So all that's left is Sigma, people. So, I don't know. I haven't actually... In all my practicing, I did not beat Sigma. I got killed. Now, I mean, I didn't stick with it, though. You know, I probably had enough lives to do it. So all that's left is Sigma, although first we had to fight his pooch for some reason. But another thing the game gives you here is this tunnel on the way up. It's annoying and repetitive, but as you can see, my sub-T are almost filled, so I can finish it. As these holes, these guys come out. So you can just do this until you're full. Don't worry, we're already there, so now we can just go up. So here's, the dog is a great example of a good time to use Hadoken if you got it. Many times I've played through this and I've taken the dog out with one hit by doing Hadoken, which is really funny, but don't have it, so ice is what works on the dog. The dog will hit me a couple times, but I'll take him out. I don't really remember the stuff Sigma says, just that he's impressed that I got this far, and blah blah blah, stupid foolish humans and maverick hunters. But even though I've gotten this far, he's not going to fight me till I prove I'm truly worthy, so first I had to fight his little pet or something. Okay, let's go get the dog. The dog can actually climb walls himself, so the technique you've been using through the whole game to get, you know, the upper hand on various bosses now suddenly gets flipped around. As you can see, the ice works pretty well on him. Especially having it ricochet off the wall is very handy. Alright, so this took him out pretty quickly. So now, Sigma only has 2 forms in this game. So first form is very dangerous, but there's just yeah, blah blah. He just has a very pattern, a very sort of predictable, easy pattern, and if you follow it and are cautious, you can take him out. It takes a while to do that, and this involves the wall. You don't want to be on the business end of that sword. That sword does a ton of damage. You just want to lure him up, and when he gets to the middle, let that go. You want to let it go about in the middle, because you want it to be able to hit him twice. See? I'm hitting him twice. Sometimes if I'm too high or too low, it only hits him once. It only got him once there, and that makes it, you know, take longer. You really don't even have to lure him up that high. You could drop him earlier. I just feel more comfortable letting him go high, because technically you can do this. I just feel like that's risky. So I usually let him get higher and try to aim right for the middle. But he doesn't do anything as long as you do this. If you try to engage him on the ground, he has all sorts of attacks, and the sword can kill you in just a couple hits. So even though it's kind of dull and repetitive, it's the way to do it. It would go a little faster if I was hitting him twice every time, but sometimes my timing's a bit off. Oh, see? Messed that up. Come on. Still, him banging into you doesn't do nearly as much damage as actually, like, slicing you with the sword does. You don't want to see that happen. Like, see how much power I have left? He could probably kill me in 2 hits with the sword. It's pretty crazy. I'm having trouble making it hit him twice. It's better. Now really the only thing that was getting me killed in fighting Final Form Sigma was I wasn't being smart enough about when to use my sub-tank. Because obviously I'm going to use it. I'll probably need to use all of them in this fight because it's really hard to dodge the attacks here. Anyway, rolling shield is what hurts him. What's difficult is getting the opportunity. It's a hard fight. I'm just got to put everything I got into it. Okay. I'm using a sub-T now because I don't even know where my power's out. And we will get it over to... Because I know I'm about to get hit. For all I know, that was a killing blow, so that's why I used the sub-T there. Ah, see, I'm getting smoked. You can dodge that, but I'm not... Jeez, I can't... Okay, that's what you need. You need to be able to lure the hands down so you can actually get a hit in on them. Although, again, you can't stand on the hands for too long. See, I'm already... Oh, sorry about that. I'm not off to a good start here, because I just used another sub-T already, and I haven't damaged him very much at all. Sorry. Unlike everything else, I haven't practiced much of this. I don't have much recent experience. I mean, I'm getting hit by the hands and everything. That's not... Anyway, I did dodge that, but... Ah, see? Ah, okay. This is what I'm worried about. And the worst part is now you have to do all 3 fights all over again. So if I have to do this again, I will probably kill this, which is too bad, because this has been my best playthrough by far. It was going really well. Plus now we have to do the boring business of filling up 2 sub-Ts. There's just not a lot to say. That's one. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. More of those, please. My timing's off. It's not good. You want to be right up close. No, this is not good. Okay, you want to get up close. Mess up again. Wait a second, let's take a look. Alright, we're already full. Alright, gotta fight the damn dog again and then do that stupid ceiling dance. I had a really hard time with that fight. Like, I couldn't even get into a rhythm. Like, usually I can get into a rhythm where I'm getting, you know, to ride up on the hands. I couldn't even get the hands to come down. I guess it's just been too long. Blah, blah, blah. Same stuff. Yeah, take on the dog. Got hit once. Not too bad. Okay, twice. As soon as I commented on it, it happened again. Oh, there. Got that out of the way. Now we have to do the dumb, boring fight here. Blah, blah, blah. Ease it pressed. But now prepare yourself, because he's going to kill you. Gonna screw that up. Too high. Let me get lower. Oh, that's pretty good. That was too low. That's the sweet spot. Hard to pull off though. One more. I don't know why it doesn't let me switch weapons now. Alright, can do this. Not a good start. Better. See, if he does that a lot, he gives me opportunities. Problem is, sometimes he'll go a long time without doing it. Not taking any chances. Sub-T. Sometimes I can hit him more than once doing that, but it's tricky. Damn it. Ah, I missed it. That sucks. Come on. Twice in a row, that's cheap. Ah, man, come on. Once again, erring on the side of caution. Come on, get a hand down here, man. Come on, you prick. Whew, there we go. Suck it, Sigma. He's like, oh no, I can't believe it, my perfect body. Blah, blah, blah. No Reploid dominance for you. There goes his floating island. That wasn't too bad. I mean, Sigma killed me once and I had that hiccup against Armored Armadillo. Apart from that, it went smoothly. I did it. Feels good. Because, I mean, I had a couple attempts on here where I was streaming. And, you know, I would just make small mistakes and they would add up and it would drive me crazy. But we've done it. I've done it. Which feels good. Did a good playthrough. And one of my favorite games of all time, Mega Man X from 1993. Thank you, Tim. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention to, I'm not sure how many people were watching or whatever. There were a couple times where I even turned off the notifications because I was like, I don't need people watching this live. Because really, I was just trying to do this to upload to the other channel later, but anyway. But thank you very much. Did have that hiccup, but apart from that, it went the way I wanted it to. Took out all the bosses the first time without the special weapons. The X series is a great series, although X5, 6, 7, 8 I haven't played too much with, but the first 4, which are part of this collection I'm playing on, which is the first volume of the Mega Man X collection, you know, I owned all the games and played them all. 2 is actually my favorite, but we might be a ways away from me doing a playthrough of that, because even though I can beat it, I can't beat it with quite the swagger and pizzazz that I beat this game with. Like, I mean, this game I'm really good at, which is why I chose to do it for the channel. Because people don't want to see playthroughs of people struggling and fucking up, right? They want to see somebody who knows what they're doing. So that's why there was sort of this added pressure on myself. And that's why I had a couple aborted attempts. But there it is, Mega Man X is in the books. Thank you so much for watching and being with me, whether it was live or late or not. This is cool. This shows the names of all the various enemies from each stage. I think their names are the same in Japanese or English, unlike the boss names. Capcom always had great music. Capcom's the best, you know? My favorite game in the world is not a Capcom game, but I mean, if you're just going by, like, quality and quantity, I don't know what can beat Capcom. You have the Mega Man series, Resident Evil, of course, Street Fighter, and all sorts of lesser-known games that really work well into, like, even going back to something like Strider, I think Capcom's, like, the top. At least for his, like, just having a great run of great games. I like this, it's like, in loving memory of the guys that I killed twice. No little animation of them, though. It would have been cool to see them do their move or something. I think they do it in later games. It's been so long since I've beaten any of these games. They only get harder from here, really. Like, Sigma having 2 forms? I think in some games he has like 4. However, I did fight Sigma a little while ago in X4. I can beat him as Zero, because in X4 is the first game where there's 2 full games. You can play the game as X or as Zero. And I don't think I've ever beaten him as X. But I can beat him with Zero. It's a completely different playstyle because Zero has his sword in that game. Oh, look at that. Instead of Vile, it's Vava. That's interesting. I probably knew that and forgot. Don't worry, Zero, you're not gone forever. You'll be back. Of course, so will Sigma, over and over again. Great. Beautiful. And you is Rockman X. Hell yes. Repeat. So that's it. That's the Mega Man X playthrough. Went really well, finally, after some issues. So thanks so much, everybody. We don't need to do the full credits here. I've already said the stuff I wanted to say. It's a great game from 1993, sort of a reinvention, reboot of Mega Man, although they did keep the classic series going too, which was good. You know, this was the first 16-bit Mega Man game. Came out on the Super Nintendo. I own it. I have the cartridge. I love playing it on the Super Nintendo as well, but this is so I could, I always feel a little more comfortable with that controller. But still, I felt comfortable and was able to pull this off. So anyway, thank you so much, everybody who's tuned into this live or is going to watch this at a later point. That's Mega Man X. That's how you fucking do it. So this is Cole signing off. Thanks so much, guys. And hopefully I'll have some other content to put up on the Final Dungeon channel, which is where this is going to go. I couldn't stream it directly to the channel, so it's on my own channel, but I'm going to put it on the Final Dungeon channel with Jay and Eric, and they're going to add content too. So check that out. Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everything. Peace out, guys. See you again.